Hi everyone, this is Terry, and you're listening to Insights with Terry Coots. Thank you for joining me to explore together the week of November the 3rd through the 10th. It's a big week, 2024. We have the American elections, and that's going to affect the world one way or another. So it's a big, big week. I don't think we'll have answers right away, even though we're supposed to maybe have an answer by that night. I think it'll be quite a while, and I think it'll be quite a bit of chaos for the next few weeks. So kind of buckle up, kids, and go for the ride. And I'm not making light of it. It's actually a terrifying thing. We're on the precipice of some decisions that will affect many generations to come. So this Scorpio energy that we have in the sun sign has moved from Scorpio in Mercury to Sagittarius, which is hope. It's never say die. It's never quit. It's an energy that's very, very optimistic. And we also have it in Venus, which is the planet of attraction. This is what people would be attracted to. So I am hoping with every atom of my being that people will be attracted to that message, which is one not of divisiveness, one of embracing each other, one of working together for the benefit of everybody. And then Mars, the planet of passion, what we strive for, has gone from Cancer into Leo, and that is a leadership kind of energy. And I'm praying that these planets and that psychic energy and the realistic energy of Scorpio above us that allows us to see the reality, not to fool ourselves, to see it truthfully, that cloak will embrace the people so that the people make the right decision in the United States at this time, and that's going to affect the world. So I'm not saying who I want God to help me with to say who's the vote should be for, but I'm hoping that it'll turn out with a good message, an optimistic message, a kind message. Now, the beginning of the week, the moon as well is in Sagittarius, so that will pair very nicely with it in Mercury, planet of the mind, and in Venus, the planet of love and beauty. So that first part of the week, which embraces the elections will be on Tuesday in the United States. My fingers are so crossed that theme will be embraced by people, the striving and wanting an optimistic view, to be able to move forward, to look to their future, the future of the globe, with a positive energy, a kind energy, an honest energy, an authentic energy. And that, I am hoping, will carry us through a very, very scary next few days. Now, in the middle of the week, the day after their elections, the moon, the planet of emotions, moves into Capricorn. That's a really good energy for now saying, okay, let's grab this bull by the horns. Let's go and get this done. This is what we need to do. This is how we need to do it. Let's go. So it's an energy field that allows us to organize ourselves, to know what we need to do, how to do it. I don't know if you've ever looked at a job and said, I don't even know where to start. I have many times. You start anywhere, just anywhere. Grab something and just start. And then it just kind of falls into place. So this Capricorn energy hopefully will lead us in the right direction so that we know where to start and how we can organize ourselves and get back on track. And then the last part of the week the moon is in Aquarius, which is very powerful because that's humanitarian. So that looks at a big picture. It doesn't just look at little events. It looks at the big humanitarian picture. So it's all set up here. Let's just pray that it follows through in the way that would be best for everybody. Now, health-wise, the beginning of the week, we're looking at very vulnerable liver. Any of the organs that are more on the eliminating side will be very much at risk. So if you have any kidney problems, liver problems, skin issues, this would be a time that you'd be a little bit more vulnerable. So just do whatever you can to help those little organs. The hips, the thighs, the sacrum can also give you grief. Moving into the middle of the week, then we're going to, if you're vulnerable to arthritis or anything that's inflammation, it can hit our backbone, our joints, our knees. So be prepared if you're vulnerable there. I'm already feeling it. Darn. 1 minute everything was okay and the next minute it's not. I guess that's called old age. So just don't antagonize your body by eating sugar or bad foods. Don't eat at the wrong time so the foods aren't digested and become a toxin that becomes inflammatory and becomes a problem. So kind of help your body out if you can. Work with it instead of against it. Then towards the end of the week, it will move down into calf, ankles, and your shins. So your extremities may be a little bit more vulnerable. So be very careful. When these planets change like that, we're more likely to trip, fall, stumble, hurt a joint. So hang on to the rail, hang on to the railing, kids. The number that was given to us this week is the number 4, and that's a very successful number for the people to accomplish things for themselves. And if we want to do something, this successful energy is a little bit more concentrated and can make us more purposeful because it offers us perseverance and a way, as I said earlier, with that Capricorn energy, to systematically work at something so that we can accomplish it and get it done. Consistency and order are going to be very important for us with this number 4. That's the one that it really likes to ride the coattails of. Consistency and order. So in dog training, that is so important to be consistent. If I tell the dog don't do this or don't pull on the leash, sometimes, and other times I let them drag me all over. It's not consistent. It sends the wrong message. So then it just encourages the dog to do more pulling because sometimes they get away with it and sometimes they don't. So we have to be consistent in what we think, in what we do. This number 4 will allow us to achieve success when I say in the future, I'm already in later life, but some people are not already in later life. So by working hard, we're working towards a goal that will allow us to achieve success in later life. So mine came a long time ago, and now I'm benefiting from that. This is now for, I guess, Gen Z and Gen X, that if they use this number 4 frequency, with where the planets are and all that optimistic, powerful energy and spiritual energy of Sagittarius and the leadership energy of Leo in Mars, it coalesces into an amazing field that would allow you to see what you need to do and do it for later on. And patience is really important here. You have to know what your goals are. Know what your goals are going to be, see that future, and patiently but thoroughly work towards it. It's a practical and conservative energy. Now, under this bunch of energy, we'll find that we won't like change as much. But on the flip side, we're not going to like monotony either. So it's kind of like being a little pregnant. You either are or you're not. So it's going to be a tough balancing thing to embrace the changes that will be coming. This week will make some changes one way or another. And that monotonous side of life, if that happens, I can't even imagine monotony because my life is so ridiculously wonderful. But it's not monotonous, I can tell you that. But some people do experience that. So it's something that we're supposed to be balancing. The universe with number 4 and where the planets are in that Sagittarius energy will allow us to feel physically strong. Take advantage of that. I don't know if you rake leaves. I don't. I just let the wind take care of it. It turns into a nice little fertilizer anyway around the trees for the winter time. But physically strong, this is an energy field that I know I'll be able to clean out the chicken coop before the winter weather happens, to put that straw down, to do the physical tasks that I need to do to get ready, roll up the hose, all the things that I need to do to get ready for that winter that's coming, and the activities that we need to do. Some people decorate their house now for Christmas. Where can you use your physical strength and your dexterity to the best advantage at this time, this week? That's really, really, really concentrate on that. This is a hard-working energy with that Capricorn in the middle of the week. Take advantage of it. Just take advantage of it. The weakness of this number with where it is, excuse me, is carelessness and a narrow view of life. Avoid that at all costs if you can. This is not the week to look narrowly at things. Now, I have to say, I have to, sorry. I've heard people say that they're going to vote for Trump because they like his policies. I don't understand this. I'm just repeating. They like his policies. So that's a narrow view. We're looking at something somebody's saying but not doing. If you look at the person with the way he treats other people, how he talks about other people, how he demeans, is disgusted by other people, sows division, sows hatred, sows fear, to look only at his policies and not the big picture is not the time for this week. So we need to try to not get into a narrow view of life. Look at the big picture. A person of that ilk ruling one of the most powerful countries in the world with no guardrails, does that feel safe to anybody? So we have to be careful when we're making decisions ourselves, because if we're leaning on the narrow view, we're not going to make good decisions for ourselves or for the countries or for our children in the next generations. And what we have to guard against too, one of the weaknesses is what we've experienced should not be turned inward, because it can affect our bodies. It can affect our nervous system, especially with where the energy is right now. Don't turn it inward. Express it. It's a physically strong time. Go rake the leaves, even if you don't have any leaves. Go walk the dog, even though you don't have a dog. Just express energy. Move. This is an energy field that we need to move. When Sagittarius is in these planets, this is an adventure time. Even go have fun. Just go try a different hobby. Just enjoy. Try different things. That's what this is all about right now. Being optimistic about things. Now, just quickly, I pulled a few cards for us to see where we are. And one of the cards, the most powerful card, is one of our emotional states, hearts. And it's the 3 of Hearts. So it's asking for celebration. Celebrate what you have. Celebrate with the other people. Ask neighbors over for dinner. Ask some friends over. Celebrate life. So this is an energy field that really asks us to mark and be conscious of what we have, what we live with, and what's good about it. How could that situation have gone bad, and how did it go well? So we focus on that. they're asking us to look at not so much the frustrating physical parts of our life, what we're lacking in money, in health, but what we have. And if we can do that, a collective consciousness can be strengthened, and that will reverberate all through the globe. So they're really asking us this week to celebrate what we have, get in that positive vein with that Sagittarius, concentrate on what we've got, and let that consciousness, that collective consciousness, focus on the positive energy that vibrates and lets us really work at changing maybe circumstances for the better. There's a situation that's coming. Remember that this is a general reading. It's not for anybody specific. This is an energy of defeat. Now, I'm hoping with every beat of my heart, this doesn't mean what I think it could mean. I will not entertain that thought until the fat lady sings. So, it's the Five of Swords. Swords is the mind. 5 in numerology is struggle. And this card is labeled defeat, which means that we can't win at anything or a certain circumstance approaching it the way we are. We have to step back and look around and find an alternative way to approach it. Now, because this is a reading for so many people, I really don't know how that applies to everybody individually, because everybody's an individual. So I'm making this purposefully ambiguous, general. So this number 5 in Swords is an energy field that's negative. It isn't, there's nothing I can do about it. It just is. And we can work from a place of wounded pride, or maybe humiliation, or arguing, or false narratives, taunting, ridicule, being embarrassed, and not saying, you know what, I was wrong. I made a mistake. I was wrong. So it's warning us that some things around us may be acting in a very negative and destructive manner. And we need to swallow our pride and admit our limitations before we individually can proceed. And that's what this energy field is trying to help us understand. It's taming ego. It just comes down to that, taming ego. So the card of force as well came up, which is mental force. That energy field, that mental challenge that we have to focus really, like Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, on what we want and own it. Just own it. So it's an energy field that allows us to maybe change events around us by the strength of our mind, the strength of our will, the strength of our ability to see, to own, the faith. So all of this is very powerful and very important. Now, they're showing that some things that are supposed to change won't change. They're going to stay the same. I'm suspecting that means that when, in the United States, when the ballots are counted, there may be so much haranguing that they won't be able to move forward. So they'll get stuck. And then we have to watch, wait, and hold our breath. But remember that when the collective consciousness focuses on something, it can move mountains, literally. So you ask your source which way that your mind needs to focus, or offer your mental strength to your source and say, take it. Take my energy. Use it any way you need to make things turn out for the best for everybody. I trust you. I have faith in you. And that's where we are this week. It's very powerful. It's very important. And it'll be a very, very interesting week to see how this plays out. On that note, and I don't mean it to be dark, I mean it to be potential. So on that note, I want to thank sincerely Charlie O'Brien for putting this on Spotify, on Apple iTunes, and I know Spotify has been having troubles. Not Charlie, Spotify. It's a Spotify issue. Apple iTunes, Amazon Music Podcast, SoundCloud, YouTube. We have other options if Spotify doesn't want to play right. And I will get it up on Facebook when Charlie gives me the link. He has also created the website www.terriworld.com, where you can go and listen to some of the archived podcasts if you so desire. And you can give me a shout. You can text or call 519-726-6699 if you'd like to book something for yourself personally, so I can focus on you and see how the things are moving for you and what best attitudes, behavior patterns, what best would work for you, how to understand the people and the situations around you so that everything works out a lot more positively and you can handle it better. So thanks again, Charlie. I really appreciate everything you've done, and I know that everybody else thanks you too. And don't forget, Charlie runs the Big 8, and don't be afraid to tune in and listen. Charlie's got the most wonderful voice. Okay, enough of that. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, everybody, for taking your time and listening. You have yourself a great week. Fingers crossed it turns out the way the source wants it to. And it will work out positive for everybody, the whole world. Have a wonderful week, people. We'll talk to you on the other side of this.